All right, Drew. This is it. You have listened and watched all those Karceno hood stories. You have asked for this back since the beginning. And I've been just saving it. Mostly I forgot. But I've been saving it and waiting for the right moment to make the video. And this is it. Karceno hood story number 40. And here we go. Grove Heights. We're going back to 6th grade. I was in 6th grade. I wasn't even living in Grove Heights yet. I'm over there on 47th Street in Greenwood. Over there near High Park. It was summertime. And my grandmother was already living in Grove Heights. So I'm over there at a basketball game. It was like V106 or whatever, playing another radio station, whatever. They were hosting this charity basketball event. During the halftime of this event, they had all these martial arts come out. And then my mom is with her friends from work, and they got kids, and my mom just pushed me with them, like, get with your new friends. And she's like, look at y'all playing so good together. I'm like, that's cool, yeah, but I don't know these dudes. So I'm out there, we just kicking and having a good time, and all of a sudden, the halftime show coming, and everybody's breaking wood, and we was like, man, look at this. So it's this one guy, he's just screaming, ah! He's breaking all the wood. And I'm like, man, this guy ain't playing around. And I'm like, man, I look like I seen him before, but I couldn't figure out where. And he was breaking like everything. Then we got a chance to go down and meet all the martial artists, and the karate master, they missed the Miyagi. He was in a wheelchair. Bzzz, oh God. And this one girl, she was too scared to break the wood. So she didn't break it. And he went and broke it anyway. The other guy, ah! So he was asked her, he's like, why you didn't break the wood? She's like, I don't think I'm ready yet. He's like, well, if you're not ready to break the wood, then you're not ready to be in my class. You understand that? And she's like, yes, I understand. And that was it. So he was in a wheelchair. And I go to my grandma's house, and my next door neighbors with his wife, and they going on. I don't even know if they was married. I think they were dating his girlfriend and their daughter. And they go into the car. And he never really talked to anybody. And I was like, he looks familiar. I'm like, were you doing karate, breaking wood at the event? He was, yeah, you were there. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. Your karate sensei, whatever, was in a wheelchair. Yeah. So ever since then, like, he was like, man, this guy who didn't talk at all became the most talkative human being on the face of this earth. Come to find out, this man was a 3rd degree black belt. Okay? 3rd degree black belt. Was in Vietnam. He had 2 flagpoles put up in front of his house, like all the way up to the sky. And the American flag and the Marine flag. Oh, every time the commercial come on. He was dedicated and was still in the war somewhere. Now, Fritz is Manuel Fitzpatrick. He's a lieutenant of the fire department. But Fritz had a daughter, a stepdaughter, or his girlfriend's daughter, who, like, the whole neighborhood, she's the one girl on the block that stays in the house. There's bars everywhere. And it's like the quest, like, who's going to get the girl to come outside and all that craziness. But for some reason, he always chose me to hang out with her. Like, you were just like me when I was a kid, Kevin. I'm telling you, me and you. I'm like, oh, baby, here we go. Because the man would go on. I swear to God, He's a Laker fan. The Pistons had lost to the Lakers in Game 7, and the man talked to us for about 3 hours outside. After the game, I'm like, somebody had to bail us out so we can go home. We wanted to go home to go. Like, we gotta go to school tomorrow. We was ready to go, but he was great, and that's what people never understood his genius. He was caught in a time. He was still living in the past, but he was living in a world that didn't understand him because they've all evolved. His mind is still back in 1960 something. He was telling girls, there'll be a bounty on your head if it wasn't for that split in between your legs. Nobody talks like that anymore. So what he decided to do was go ahead and switch things around. He went ahead and he started being more open, coming outside more, talking to people. And once that happened, it changed the game. The neighbors started talking to him, so like my family, he ain't talked to my grandparents or none of them. He talked to me more than he talked to them. So now, he's become part of the family. My mom, everybody know him. Take the kids out, all the guys in the neighborhood, like on the block. Me, Chewy, I think even D or Terry, all of us, he'll take us, get something to eat. We all watched the game. He went and got a big screen, got table tennis in the crib. We having a ball. Then we always play football. Right next to us is a big, gigantic field where we play our football games. And Woodlawn always cheat. They were the only team, like each block had a football team. I think I probably told y'all that before. We used to always manhandle Greenwood. There was no problem. That's the next block over. Then after our block is Woodlawn. We had to play them, and Woodlawn would always cheat and bring in some ringer. Somebody who's like 25. Yeah, I'm going to run with y'all youngsters. I'm going to play football. Hold on, let me finish this bill. And coming out there, we got to try to tackle him. Yeah! I'm like, man, how we going to win? And I got to guard him. Now we all got 5 of us got to tackle this guy. So anyway, I'm getting off story. Anyway, we play our football games there. And down the block by like Dobson, they grow this, like they farm over there. They put like a garden or whatever over there. So they have all their little garden space. No problem. Then all of a sudden, they came up with a genius idea that they can just move everything down to our end and just expand the garden. And that would be great. Then they go and sell the stuff they grow. They go out and they was making like a business out of it. And they were coming down there and they was like, well, y'all football games going in because they're going to move the garden down here. And I'm like, oh, man, now we got to go all the way to the school. And then I told Emmanuel what was going on. He was, they can't do that. That belongs to that's public property. They just can't move their garden down here. And what, you guys got to move? I like watching you guys play football out there. They just can't move in and take it. Oh, you guys are too, I'm like, well, we're kids. They adults. We don't know. You guys are too young. Y'all don't understand what's going on. They can't do this. Yeah, you guys are too young to fight this thing. So he decided, to him in his mind, it just something clicked. He then went back to Nam. We as kids is like, okay, well, it's over. We'll just go down the hill and play football. Not in his mind, no, you ain't going nowhere. We're going to hold the line. His mind is in Vietnam. Now you trespassing on his land. Now this is a whole different matter. You have turned this into a war with this man. He then went back to Nam, and you are not finna trespass. This man has told me stories when he ran out of ammo. He had to go hand-to-hand combat with guys in black pajamas over there. So you think this little infraction with these people down the block is finna jar him? He's back in Sang Bang somewhere. His whole mind's gone. So He didn't send them the message, do not pass that line. You have your garden here. He went down there and warned them. You have it down there. Those kids, that field belongs to those kids. They go out there and they play football in it all the time. I go out there and cut the grass and mow it so that they can go out there and play their football games. We fought for this country so that our kids can go outside and play freely, and you are not finna come and trespassing and take it from kids. So they were like, yeah, whatever. All right, get the measuring crew out there. Yeah, this got crazy. We can do what we want to do. So they got like a crew of 4 or 5 people out there. They measuring stuff. He going out there measuring stuff, and he go out there. He got a bag of popcorn. He eating and watching them measure. And while they trying to measure, he's all in the way, standing in the way. They got to go around him, and they getting ticked off because he's in the way. He's like, it's public property. They can't do nothing to me. They can't touch me. It's public property, so I can do anything I want. So he's all in their way. And one guy just had the gall. He had dropped his popcorn bag. And when he reached over to like pick the bag up, the guy just bumped him. Boom! And knocked him on the ground. And he smiled. Because that's all he wanted. Now you done touched him. Now you have to pay. They had no idea this man was a 3rd-degree black belt. And they learned that day. It was like a video game. The way they were lined up when they knocked him down, it was 4 guys. I think 4 or 3 guys. The first guy he hit right away. As soon as he got up, he was hit him in the stomach while he was on one knee. Got up, pow, dropped him. He was out. He made it to the next level. The next guy, the guy had like a wrench or something on the ground. He picked it up. Because he tried to hit him with it. That's what happened. The guy tried to hit Mayo with the wrench. He took it from him. Took it out of there and rolled it around his wrists. Like both of his wrists, just rolled it around his wrist, spinning it. And everybody was just standing there watching him like, how are you doing that? Then he caught it. Blip, hit him upside the head and he dropped. Then he went to the other guy, the main guy who it was, like their father or whatever. He threw a punch and that was a bad idea. He got hit twice. Hup! Hup! My man nose busted. He flat out laid up. Then he went in the house and had to get little. His girlfriend was a cop, so she knew how to hide him out until all this stuff died over. So next thing you know, the lady, she brings the guy that just got knocked out in our house. He bleeding, sitting there in the couch, chair bleeding. She was, yeah, he just attacked him. They out there doing the garden. I'm just like, oh man. Fritz ain't no joke. You don't mess with Fritz, man. Them flags is up for a reason. You don't mess with a Marine. So, he back in combat. So now he hiding out. Nobody seen him for like a week. He was gone. Then he finally, when things calmed down, he came back home. So he was outside cutting his grass or whatever, and all of a sudden a car pulled up, a Mustang. It was the son of the guy that got knocked out last, the main guy who got his nose busted. He pulled up. He saw him. He pulled the car up, jumped out, hit him with a pipe because he didn't even see him coming. He hit the son guy, made a mistake. He hit the guy with the pipe, hit Fritz with a pipe, and bust Fritz's head. Fritz saw the blood, said, okay. Got up, twist his arm, flipped the guy over, boom, guy fell on the floor, put his arm, put him in the arm bar, and just rained down punches. 1, 2, the guy, he was all messed up. They should know, lead this man to glow. He's Steven Seagal for real. He ain't finna play with y'all. They went and got in, the guy stumbled, drunk, getting back to the car and drove off. He almost hit a tree. Trying to get out of there. So he got a thing on his head like, yeah, I'm all right. He's like, yeah, I don't think they gonna come back no more. Man, they say he went down there and grabbed another one and warned them. Once they found out, like, he got the cops and the fire department on his side, they left him alone. The cops started coming to their house like, y'all better leave that man alone. He's an ex-Marine. He's a lieutenant of the fire department. Y'all do not have no permit to go down there and start building. Leave that man be, because he will hurt you. And that's Fritz. He will hurt you. But his thing is, he's a defender. He taught me a lot. But that man is a protector, a defender. And people made him leave the neighborhood. He was great. I was like, he left the neighborhood because the neighborhood turned on him. They wanted to put that cul-de-sac in there, and his house, if they cut out some in his yard, he can't park in front of his house. He can park on the side or in the garage. Talking about the cul-de-sac, that's good. It's gonna stop drive-bys, and people got a place the kids can play. When has a cul-de-sac been, like he said, when has a cul-de-sac been a playground? That's for cars to go around. This is cutting into my yard, and it's cutting into her yard over here where we having this meeting. Both of our houses are affected because we can't park in front of our house. So now, where are we supposed to park? I like parking in front of my house. Now I got to park in the garage on the side. It don't affect nobody else. Now we got one way to get in, one way to get out. This place wasn't designed, this street wasn't designed for two cars to come down the same way. It wasn't big enough. So now you just making a cul-de-sac, talking about it's better for y'all because y'all trying to use the budget money to cut it down. I'm like, when has there been a drive-by on this block? Same thing he just said. When has there ever been a drive-by over here? Well, cars speed around the corner fast and they come around. When has a kid been hit by a car over here? It hasn't happened. So why in the world do they want to put a cul-de-sac in here? They want to put a cul-de-sac in there because they want to pave the alleys. They have to spend that budget money. Plus, they want to keep y'all boxed in. One way in, one way out. And they can keep up with you because cars get lost in Grove Heights. If you try to police, they were losing cops over there. If cops were chasing them, they could lose them like that. When you put cul-de-sacs up, you keep people confined in areas. But the cul-de-sac isn't a playground. But when you're a congressman or something, you talk to a bunch of people who own in the neighborhood, who do like neighborhood watch, they so amazed by your power, they stupidity take over. And when they stupidity take over, they don't listen to reason. They just start making up stuff and going with it. Whatever the politicians say, kids got a place to play. Yeah, so the kids can play. The kids can play in front of their house. It's a house. What do you mean? They don't need to play in a cul-de-sac where cars is coming? It's not a playground. It's a cul-de-sac for a reason. So they was just going along with it. So they had a meeting and cut him out. They just cut Fritz completely out the meeting. And they had a whole nother meeting about it, and they just decided to leave him out. And the whole neighborhood knew about the meeting and didn't tell him. And he was like, he felt betrayed and was like, you know what? I'm going to sell my house. I'm moving. That's it. I'm out of here. And I felt him. He was like, it don't matter if they all voted against me. I have a right to give my opinion and my thoughts in the meeting. And y'all going to take that away from me when y'all did the whole meeting and didn't tell me about it, going to leave me out of it. And everybody knew, and then they didn't tell me because they knew I was against it. But hey, even if I'm against it, I have a right as a homeowner to express myself in the meeting and give my thoughts. So it ain't about if y'all was voting against me, that's fine, but don't exclude me from the meeting. So as much as he done for the community, so I was in total agreement with him. I'm like, he's 100% right. We didn't need the cul-de-sac at all. And definitely it affected him and the lady on the corner. They getting their yard cut off. So the cul-de-sac. So he moved away. But Fritz came back to visit. And to this day, that's why he is at number 40. Fritz have a lot of stuff that then went down, but the man done taught me some martial arts. He done taught me a lot of the self-defense techniques. He tried to hook me up with his stepdaughter. What more could you want? He was a great friend. And Drew, if you watching this, I know you've been waiting on this one because you was right there. You was right there for the whole blows, everything. Cause you was just coming out the house, I think, and you showed up when the fight happened. Right when the fight was going down. I think it was you and Terry or somebody out there. But anyway, I'm out. Finna go and watch some TV or something. I'll holler at y'all later.